Jesus is knocking on the door of your heart right now. And the only thing standing between you and him is your hand on the handle. Today, we're talking about why letting go feels impossible and why opening the door might be safer than you think.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey, my friend, welcome back. Letting go. Man, if there's one phrase that sounds simple but feels impossible, it's that one. There's a scene that comes back to me. Have you ever seen the movie Selena? There's a scene where she's high doing this bungee jumping thing at an amusement park. And you see her, she's looking straight down at the distance between her and the ground. Her heart is pounding. Her hands are gripping the rail like it's the only thing solid in the world. And as she's standing there frozen, the operator leans over and says, "The hardest part is letting go." In the movie, those words hit different because the operator was just talking about releasing the rail, right? But Selena was standing on the edge of her whole future. Her father was threatening to end her music career if she married this man that she loved. And that line, "the hardest part is letting go." That's where many of us live when it comes to our healing. So today, we're going to walk through 3 things together. What letting go means, why it's so hard, and how it heals. Let's start with that first one. The truth about letting go. Here's what I want you to hear today. Letting go doesn't mean turning a blind eye to our pain. It doesn't mean excusing what has been done to us. Letting go is releasing the pain to the one who can heal what we can't forget. It's opening the door of our heart so the healer Jesus can come in and sit down with us in it. Revelations 3:20 says it this way. Jesus says, "Here I am, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in and eat with that person and they with me." Maybe you're thinking, "I don't hear him knocking. If I could just hear him knocking, I'd be glad to open the door." But my friend, he is knocking through his word, through a sermon that hits a little too close, through the tests and trials that we're walking through every day, and through that quiet longing that there's got to be more than where I am right now. That longing, that's him knocking. But to experience the more, we must first open the door. And opening the door means letting go of what we're currently holding on to so tight. Which brings us to the next question. Why letting go is so hard? So why is something so simple so hard? I mean, Jesus is coming in, he's sitting at the table, he's sharing in our pain, he's promising to stay with us, and that should make letting go easy, right? But here's the truth. Letting go is hard because it requires something of us that's pretty difficult. Change. Change in mindset, change in behavior, change from the familiar. There's a phrase that keeps coming back to me when I think of this. Nothing changes if nothing changes. We are such creatures of habit, even when the habit is hurting us. I heard a woman on a podcast recently say about her first husband that he used to curse her out during arguments. And she said, "Well, my dad cursed my mom, so I guess that's normal." That's not her being foolish. That's how familiarity works in us, that we're okay with dysfunction. We don't see it as broken. We see it as normal. And it's not our fault that we're calling it normal. It's just, again, how familiarity works. But it does mean letting go is hard because of comfort. And it's hard because of the unknown. If I let this go, what does my life even look like now? How do I create a new normal when I don't even know what different looks like yet? You don't just lose the pain when you let go. You lose the version of you that knew how to survive it. And that's loss. Even when it's good, it still sometimes can make us grieve. But is it worth it? Absolutely. Because Jesus shows up when we let go to heal. Jesus doesn't just walk through the door. Here's why letting go heals. It opens the door of our hearts to let the healer in. And Jesus doesn't just stand at the door. He doesn't just walk through and leave. He says, I will come in and eat with them. He sits down. He dines with us. He gets intimately involved in every pain we've been guarding. And that's where the healing begins. I want you to catch that word begins, because letting go isn't the finish line. It's not a one time where you open the door once and you're instantly made whole. It's the start of the journey. The moment Jesus pulls up a chair at the table of your pain and says, I'm not going anywhere. Let's walk through this together. Think about how intimate that is. When I sit down at lunch with a close friend, we catch up on life, we laugh, sometimes we cry, sometimes we vent, but that's a safe place, right? And that's what Jesus offers us. The moment we let go and open the door, he comes in. He sits at the table of whatever has been weighing you down, and he shares that space with you. And he did this throughout his entire ministry, eating at Matthew's house with the tax collectors, in Zacchaeus' house, in the famous Mary and Martha's table. And there's one story that keeps coming back to my mind. After the resurrection, 2 disciples are walking from Jerusalem to Emmaus, about 7 miles. Brokenhearted, they're confused over everything that just happened to Jesus. And he starts walking alongside them, but they don't recognize him. They just explain their sadness, and Jesus opens the scriptures to them as they walk. And as evening comes, they invite this stranger to stay for dinner. They open the door. And that's Revelations 3:20 happening in real time, centuries before it was ever written. Jesus comes in and sits with them in their pain, in their sadness, and their disappointment. And when he breaks the bread, their eyes open. They realize it's him. And instantly, their sadness turns into something burning within them. Luke 24:32 says it best. The disciples are like, were not our hearts burning within us when he talked to us on the road? But watch this. They had to let go of their mourning, their sadness, their doubts first to invite him in close enough for him to break, bless, and heal their hearts. So here's what that leaves us with. Letting go was never really about the pain itself. It was about who we were willing to trust with it. Letting go is only possible when we trust the one asking us to open the door. And I think if we're honest, most of us aren't refusing to let go because of stubbornness. We're actually afraid of what we'll feel, afraid of what we'll be without it. That fear is real, and it doesn't make us weak. It makes us human. So here's my challenge for you today. If you want your healing journey to actually begin, you have to trust Jesus the one standing at the door knocking. Let him into all of it, into every room, the room you don't want anybody to see. Let him sit at the table and share a meal of healing and restoration with you. Yes, letting go is the hardest part, but by God's grace, you can open the door to the Creator who's been waiting all along to heal you, restore you, and rebuild you into who you are always meant to be. Maybe today you've realized you've been standing at your own door for too long, hand on the handle, too afraid to turn. Here's the good news. Jesus isn't asking you to fix yourself before you open it. He's just asking you to let him in. Nothing changes if nothing changes, but everything changes the moment you finally let go. If this met you somewhere today, please do me a favor. Hit the like for this video. Please subscribe if you haven't yet and share it with a friend who needs to hear this too. And tap the notification bell so that you won't miss the next episode because we're just getting started on this journey together. I'll see you next time, my friend.